Alright, and we've started. That's a little bit loud. Let me turn that down. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Alright. Hello everyone, welcome to today's podcast. This is HS in Action, the show where high schoolers provide insight on their realities. Let's get right into it. So recently, I've decided to take charge in expressing how high schoolers feel when it comes to their social environment. And today, I'll be asking you some questions split into 3 sections in order to give the people some background on just what really goes on in a typical high schooler's life. Now, before we get into the real questions, how would you describe your current high school experience?
It's okay. It really depends on the people that you're with.
Okay, can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
I've been through a lot this high school, but it's basically just a roller coaster.
Accurate description. So, now that we have a little bit of knowledge about you, let's start off with the questions. And to start us off, we can mutually agree that social media plays a big role in the life of high schoolers. As a normal teenager, it's common that most of us are found on our devices, whether it be scrolling, texting, or creating content for their profiles on the various platforms that exist. So my question to you is, what's most popular on social media and how do you fall into these trends?
I don't really go along with the trends. I just post and see what happens.
That's a good answer. Good answer. Well, to follow that question up, time spent on social media platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, just to name a few, use bait mainly classified as clickbait or engagement bait. These AI-powered tactics are based on recent history in order to attract viewers. So from your perspective, how has social media impacted your life, and what would you say most people do while using it?
Social media impacted my life a lot, just based on how our generation is grown into it with all this new technology. So we're just basically work all around it.
Get to social interactions at high school. So we all know how friend groups are. A handful of people know each other and they hang out in one area. Back in middle school, groups were made based on your popularity. Do you think this still exists in high school?
100%.
Why do you think that?
They're just based on how you dress and how you act. They put you in certain categories, and you're supposed to just hang out with them and them only. So yeah.
It's a good segue, because much like popularity, those in higher grade levels have higher seniority and are therefore prioritized for choices such for course selection in high school. And speaking of prioritization, those who are more popular or of higher rank don't talk to those of lower rank. Do you feel like this applies to seniority?
Kinda. In our high school, a lot of people talk to a lot of people. Just it doesn't really matter depending on grade level.
Well, like popularity, those of higher seniority tend to hang out with each other, and lower grade levels may be thought of as water under the bridge. Would you say that popularity applies to seniority in high school?
Sometimes. I would say that some seniors are very well known around the school, and some freshmen are very well known around the school too.
Good answer. I like how you tried to compare seniors and freshmen. Well, last question before we move on to the next section. Most people in any school stick around with people of their age groups and or grade level. On rare occasions, you might find that someone of a lower grade is conversing well with someone of a higher grade level. How hard do you think it is to talk to someone in a higher grade?
Not that hard. Sometimes it can be just them as the bigger brother, the bigger sister, just another hero to them.
A previous interviewee.
It goes good, when you're going to school every day, getting along with people, it just puts you in a good mood, and that makes you want to learn more, and that's the part of life, you gotta learn a lot, you gotta get along with people, and that's it.
Had mentioned that maybe you have a class that has someone from a higher grade level. What happens if you meet someone that's outside of your class?
That's a hard one. Most people from either sophomore, junior, seniors all meet within class. If they don't, then they probably know someone that is their sibling or just met through sports.
Sports levels are, not sports levels, grade levels are combined in sports, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Well, I think it's time to hop into a question that most people have trouble dealing with. Guys and girls go their separate ways once they make it into high school, and over time, they gradually make friend groups containing a mix of both genders. Based on high school so far, do you think it's difficult for one gender to talk to the other?
Yes, because in high school, apparently you can't be friends with the opposite sex.
High schools, you'll find a duo of one individual from each gender group together called a couple. Boyfriend and girlfriend, these two stay together bonded by an emotion called love. Do you or do you not?
I do not have a boyfriend.
Okay, so since you don't have a boyfriend, how do you think those in relationships asked out their crush?
I know a lot of my friends that are in relationships got asked out by like a dance, or like they went on a date and then after the date was like good and everything, they'd ask them out.
These people are typically called single until they become part of the boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. However, this isn't seen very often, and the bystanders, it just happens. In your opinion, do you think that guys are afraid to ask out girls and vice versa?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of awkward sometimes.
And why? What is the biggest factor that leads up to this?
What do you mean, like chemistry-wise?
No, like, what drives the most fear into a person when they're asking out their crush?
Rejection, and then them telling their friends that they rejected someone, and it going around the whole school.
I feel like this would happen with most people, so if it's mainly just one, then maybe, but what happens if it's multiple people? How does it feel then?
It sucks, because then it seems like no one actually wants you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, some people in relationships know this, but love lasts until one or both partners in the couple lose feelings for each other. Emotional damages mainly felt by anger or sadness often occur in these disengagements, and those are called breakups. Some people who encounter this have harder times than others when getting back up on their feet. So can you give any advice to those who endure that time of despair?
Move on. Have a glow up. Be the best version of yourself you can.
Good one. Well, alright, that's enough for me, but I appreciate you stopping by for a chat. Would you like to return next episode to talk about academics?
Yes.
Alright, well, you heard it here. She'll be returning. So you got a camera pointing right here. Promote yourself. What's going on in your life?
Just focusing on myself, living life to the fullest, and laughing, loving, and caring about other people too.
Good choice. Now, throw your tag out there if you want to. You don't have to, but...
_star.love with LUVV.
Alright, that sounds good. Everyone, you've reached the end of our interview. Make sure to follow Haley. I'll put the tag on the screen, and we'll see you next episode where we talk about academics. Peace.